그때 막내 동생이 4살이었어요. 막내 동생이 이춘엽 4살인데 걔를 안아주고 곧 온다고 했는데 (2주일이면) 다시 올 수 있다고 생각했어요. 2주일이면 온다고 그랬거든요. 근데 그거 벌써 70년 돼가지 않아. 그때는 아버지가 49살이고 우리 어머니는 46살이었습니다. 그때 제가 20살이었습니다. 요새 49살 된 사람들 내가 얼굴 쳐다보면은 내 눈에는 아주 젊은 사람인데 우리 아버지가 49살에 맏아들을 남쪽에 보냈으니까 얼마나 마음이 아프셨겠나 이런 생각을 합니다. 어머님은 사진을 다 불살라버리고 맨날 남쪽만 바라보고 남쪽으로 가는 맏아들 생각하시다가 71년 눈을 감지 못하고 세상 떠났습니다.
We start with the disappointing news out of North Korea.
North Korea has rejected South Korea's proposal to discuss a resumption of family reunions for those separated during the Korean War.
꿈만 같더라고. 짭지요.
얘기하려고 지금 만나면 뭐 시간이 있고 뭐 돈도 마시고 뭐 저 제대로 말도 못하고 그냥 얼굴만 그냥 서로 보고.
갔다 온 다음에는 자꾸 생각이 나서 사진도 다 사주고.
The leaders of the two Koreas shook hands and gave each other big hugs, crossing the military demarcation line, warming the hearts of many here in Korea.
아이고, 통일이 돼서 서로 만나가지고 옛날 얘기도 하고 가족들 모여 잔치라도 한번 했으면 소원이고 다 한해 모여서 그 이북에도 이제 그 조카들이 있잖아요. 거기 여러 명 사니까 통일이 돼서 만나가지고 여기도 이제 우리 조카들, 우리 아들내미들, 딸들 많으니까 그냥 모여서 만났으면 소원이 있고서.
건강하게 사시다가 한 번 더 만났으면 좋겠다는 걸 얘기하고 싶지 못한 거 뭐였는데 그 건강하시라는 거 없지.
앞으로 좋은 세월이 오리라고 나는 기대하고 있다. 그리고 내가 지금 89세, 내 건강관리 잘해서 너희들을 만날 때에는 건강한 모습으로 지팽이를 들지 않고 나타날 테니까 그때까지 힘들더라도 꼭 살아남아 달라 부탁한다, 우리 형제들.
Their stories of life in North Korea. They're really incredible stories, and I think the world has started to learn about that. I think there are some deep areas as well and some fundamental things where there is commonality. North Korea can look like such a different place, but when you actually get down to the ground level and just talk with people, you know, we're all just the same kind of people. I'm So-keel Park. I'm the South Korea Country Director for Liberty in North Korea, and I'm originally from the United Kingdom, but I've been living in South Korea for about 7 years now. So Liberty in North Korea is an international NGO based in the United States. We also have our office here in South Korea, Seoul, and then field staff on the ground in Southeast Asia. And our main on-the-ground program is working with North Korean refugees, so people who have escaped north into China, but there they face the threat of being arrested and sent back to North Korea, where they would face harsh punishments for trying to leave the country. And so we have networks that bring North Korean people all the way through from Northeast China to Southwest China into Southeast Asia, and then from countries in Southeast Asia they're able to resettle in South Korea or the United States, and so we're facilitating that journey, we're doing that with them. And then beyond that, we do work with North Korean people to try and share their stories of life in North Korea and even how they managed to escape and those kind of things. They're really incredible stories, and I think the world has started to learn about that, but I think that we still need so much more of that. There's still so much that we don't know about North Korea from this perspective of North Korean people, ordinary North Koreans inside the country. And so that's one of the things that we're trying to do, working with North Korean people to enable their storytelling power to reach the rest of the world. Yeah, so I think that in South Korea, the younger generations and the millennial generations, say, in South Korea, are less interested and in some ways kind of less aware, have less understanding, and maybe most importantly, less empathy for the North Korean people. I think that we have an opportunity though with young people from North Korea who have now come to South Korea. It's not that many people, but there are thousands of people like that who can then meet with young South Koreans and can build understanding and build empathy and start to discuss, what kind of future young North Korean millennials and young South Koreans want to construct and develop for the future. There've been a lot of inherited problems for North Korean millennials and for South Korean millennials, and young people aren't to blame for the problems that they inherit from the older generations, but young people are responsible though what they do with that, right? What they take and then remake from those problems and what future they pass on to the next generation. And so that's one of the things that we're trying to do, working with young people from North Korea and South Korea and internationally as well. Janamadang. As people started to move within the country and across the border into China, the Janamadang became a place of exchange for new information and ideas, as well as technologies that accelerated the erosion of the regime's ideologies. And the generation that grew up through this time of turbulence is now emerging as the greatest force of change that North Korea has ever seen. So we had a few different objectives for the documentary, the Janamadang Generation. One was we wanted to make a different documentary about North Korea. North Korea gets a lot of attention, there's a lot of media interest, and there are some documentaries out there, but we wanted to make a documentary that was really just focused on the voices and the stories of North Korean people. So not people like me, not American professors or these kind of people who may be experts on some aspects of North Korea, but they don't have the perspective of a North Korean person who has lived in that society. And so, in fact, I think that one of the best bits of feedback that we got from this documentary is that, it's moving and it's educational and people can learn about North Korea from it. But at the end of it, people felt like they'd almost become friends with the characters, the interviewees from North Korea. And that ultimately is kind of what we're going for, I think, just opening up a window so that an audience around the world can see North Korean people just as people and as people that they may even become friends with if they had the opportunity to, sit down and share a meal together.
외국인? 너도 외국인이거든?
I really think the international community and just people around the world in South Korea and in other countries as well should have a lot more focus on North Korean people as people and North Korean society, culture, economy, and just North Korea as a country. I think that so often in the international news media and through politics, North Korea gets defined as a narrow security problem. That's a problem for sure. That's an issue that the international community has to work with. But I don't think that gets solved by itself. I think we have to work with North Korea as a country and take a more holistic approach that isn't just about missiles and nuclear weapons, but actually deals with North Korea as a country with 25 million people. And it's a country and a society that does need to change. There are a whole array of problems there. It needs to change, it needs to open up, and there needs to be reforms. But if you look at North Korean people, if you look at North Korean society and culture, there has actually been progress. There's been steady, long-term change and opening at that level. And there are things that we can do from the outside world to support that. One of those things is working with North Koreans who have left the country and become refugees. But there are other ways that we can kind of accelerate and support positive change inside the country, which I think increases the likelihood that in our lifetimes we will see North Korea become the kind of country that we actually want it to be, both for the North Korean people and for the rest of the world. I think that when North Korea changes and opens up and fundamentally normalizes and North Korean people are able to rejoin with the rest of humanity, that will be significant not just for North Koreans and South Koreans, but for the whole world. I think that will be a real moment in the history of humanity when that happens, it will have been a privilege to be a part of this movement.
The Demilitarized Zone, or DMZ, is a weapons-free buffer zone between South and North Korea.
두근두근거리고 막 떨려요.
조금 무섭기도 하고 떨려.
둘 다 총을 들고 있으니까 무서워요.
Hop on the DMZ peace train and visit the symbolic spots along the highly fortified demilitarized zone. This is Yongsan Station on a weekend morning. A train approaches, heading for a very unusual destination. Anticipation is in the air.
열차는 국내에서 유일하게 민간인 통제 표현에 위치하고 있는
휴전선이요.
돌아서 평화공원 가는 거 아닙니까? DMZ 투어 가는.
열차가 곧 출발합니다. 가지고 계신 승차권을 확인해 주시기 바랍니다.
Named the DMZ Peace Train, this is the only train heading to the DMZ.
신분증이 없으신 고객님께서는 신호보증서를
To go on this special trip, passengers should sign up in advance.
아이들한테 DMZ도 직접 보여주고 그냥 직접 현장을 가보면서 눈으로 이렇게 체험하는 것도 보고 싶어요.
아이들이 이제 커가면서 북한이나 뭐 이런 거에 대해서 관심이 좀 있고 이런 상황에서 체험을 하면서 가면 오히려 좀 더 많이 알 수 있지 않을까 해가지고 그런 생각에서 이제 신청을 하게 됐습니다.
As a symbol of the divided Korea, the DMZ offers a realistic glimpse of Korean history that students learn at school, one feature that attracts many families to this site. And here are the tour guides of the day.
저희는 중위입국 감독위원회 소속 한충희 교관
최영경 교관입니다.
Passengers each received a unique pack of gifts. Apparently, they have to carry out various tasks during the trip, and these items will help them complete these tasks.
자, 큰 박수와 함께 테스트를 시작하도록 하겠습니다. 테스트 시작!
The atmosphere heated up instantly with the children answering the questions passionately. They also have a special app designed especially for the trip, doubling the fun. Korea is the only divided nation in the world, and for Koreans, the DMZ is a place of tragic separation and pain. Many sites strictly restrict visitors, so this tourist program offers a rare chance to explore the area.
열차는 잠시 후 마지막 역인 도로사역에 도착합니다.
After about an hour and a half, the train has reached its destination, Dorasan Station. Located inside the civilian control line, this is the closest operating train station to the north. In the past, the station handled cargo coming from the Kaesong Industrial Complex into the south.
조금 무섭기도 하고 떨려. 다른 사람들이 못 가본 곳을 이렇게 열차를 타고 간다는 게 너무 설레고 떨려요.
평화 좀 가까워지는 느낌? 그런 생각이 듭니다. 지금 조금 좋았던 평화의 분위기가 사실은 요즘 좀 안 좋잖아요. 근데 좀 기원하는 마음으로 갑니다. 그래서 돌아서 평화공원 가서 즐겁게 기원하는 마음으로 둘러보고 올 예정입니다.
The passengers have transferred onto a planned bus course to fully experience and explore the many sites within this heavily restricted area. And they all look very focused. Apparently, they have to complete different tasks in each site they visit.
DMZ 미션 수행하기 위해서
자, 저희가 첫 번째로 갈 곳은 아까 말씀드렸다시피 도라산.
The first stop is the Dorasan Peace Park, a must-visit attraction. Partly funded by donations from locals, this park was developed to help youth better understand the history of the DMZ.
이거 리본 묶고 사진 찍기예요. 네.
Here, everyone looks busy, completing their tasks. Within a given time, they have to write down their wishes on the ribbon, tie it, and then take pictures.
왜요?
다 했어요. 시간에 쫓겨가지고.
시간이 많이 빠졌대요?
네. 애들을 데리고 다니니까 쉽지 않네요.
The task wasn't easy at all, but they look incredibly happy. This time they're going to the third tunnel, one of the most popular sites in here. Discovered in 1978, this tunnel was dug by the North, apparently for infiltration. It's 2 meters in width and height, but 1.6 kilometers in distance.
재밌었어요.
너무 힘들어. 좀 신기하더라고요. 바로 앞에 북한이 있다는 게 되게 신기했어요.
남북이 분단돼서 같은 나라인 북한도 못 가보고 아쉬움이 더 바로 근처에서 그렇게 느껴졌던 것 같아요.
As the trip nears its end, the longing for peace deepens. This is a final stop of today's journey. Situated at the northernmost point of the Western Front, the Dora Observatory is very close to North Korea. This allows visitors to look at well-known spots up north.
어떤 게 보여요?
네?
어떤 게 보여요?
마을 건물이고요.
저희 북한 엄청나게 커다란 그 국기 달려있는 거랑 큰 건물을 봤어요. 직접 봐보니까 정말 북한이랑 우리나라랑 좀 닮은 점도 있는 것 같아요.
마을이 보이고 저희 한국하고는 다를 줄 알았지만 다 같은 모습이거든요. 같은 민족이라는 걸 다시 또 새삼 느끼게 되네요.
On July 27, 1953, South and North Korea signed an armistice to end the Korean War. 66 years later, Korea remains divided at the 38th parallel. One day is never enough to fill up the 66-year-long division of Korea, but it can be an echo lingering in people's hearts that may eventually help bridge the divide.
차로 얼마 걸리지 않는 곳인데 갈 수 없는 게 좀 안타깝네요.
당장의 통일보다는 서로 간에 이해될 수 있는 교류부터 시작을 해야 되지 않을까.
서로 이제 왕래하고 뭐 할 수 있는 뭐 이런 시간이 좀 더 빨리 와서 좀 가볼 수 있었으면 좋겠습니다.
제가 살아있는 동안에 통일이 돼서 한 번도 밟아보지 못한 같은 나라인 북한을 밟아봤으면 하는 그런 바람이 좀 더 커지게 됩니다. 네.
We look forward to the day when the DMZ peace train reaches North Korea across the border.